This sounds like a job for the Hulkster, brother. Stand aside, Emmer. Call my agent!
Hell's with all the noise?
Hey, we can't get this bedroom door open.
No!
You alright?
Fine. I'll get someone to fix it later. So you're still in there, aren't you? You know, you're just wasting your time trying to fight me. Just face it. Your body belongs to me now. Everyone will be a lot better off if you just accept that and disappear. Now, if you don't mind, I have a review to do. Hello and welcome to Oh the Horror. I'm Fedora, and honestly, how has it possibly taken me this long to finally talk about an Asylum movie?
Oh, the Asylum. That lovable little band of low-budget, no-talent hacks. Okay, maybe that was a little harsh. I mean, they have created some very well thought out and very original scripts, such as Atlantic Rim, Transmorphers, and Snakes on a Train. All of these quote-unquote movies are usually released straight to DVD just before or just after the theatrical release of the proper Hollywood versions in order to confuse and exploit the movie buyers. And finally, in 2009, to coincide with the release of Terminator Salvation, we got this little gem. The Terminators. With an S. So, this movie starts on Deep Space Nine, where we have a few of the ship's crew members, one of which is a, sorry, what is it?
Let the TR in.
Sir, why do our robots look like the bastard love child of Mark Wahlberg and Steven Seagal?
So, in this interpretation, it seems the TRs are mechanical servants for mankind, and...
Well, Christ! Let's not waste any time!
Yeah, screw it. Who needs build-up in their movie, right? I mean, just make the machine rebellion happen in the first 3 minutes without any kind of explanation. Oh, sir, I don't trust the robots. The robots are taking over! So, just before Commander Shepard here reaches the station's kill switch for the TRs... whoa, hang on a second. All of these TRs, we're talking hundreds of thousands, every single one of these guys all run on a single switch that literally just says off and on.
Wow, that's impressive. How do they move the space station around? Fucking bike pedals?
Oh, sorry mate, I forgot about you. While these business people attempt to act worried about the incoming invasion, the TRs begin their move on Earth. And if you thought them taking over the space station was a little abrupt, let's have a look at their takeover of the planet.
I didn't trim trimmed down those action scenes. Those were the complete scenes. All I did was remove about maybe 20 seconds worth of dialogue. That's it. That's Earth conquered.
Also, it looks like people have lost their peripheral vision in the future. My god. These things are so strong, they make people's heads explode before they even hit anything. You're probably wondering why, if this is an invasion, we barely ever see more than a single TR on screen at a single time. Well, it seems they had the killer idea to have every single one of these things played by a single actor. Yet, people in this movie keep talking about massive armies, hundreds of thousands of TRs. But we never see them.
Oh my god! My god, this battle is epic!
By the way, I don't think the end of the world has sunk in yet for most people.
So I think we should have a June wedding.
Ain't gonna happen.
Why can't it happen, Chuck?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I'm still married. She's pregnant.
I'm sorry, is this a rip-off of the Terminator, Battlestar Galactica, or Days of Our Lives? But the world invasion eventually catches up with everybody when a nuke whizzes by and strikes the nearby city. This is symbolized by a little white splodge on the horizon, which apparently fails to destroy any of the surrounding buildings. Just again, trust us, it's a disaster. We can't show you it, but it's a disaster, we promise.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Asylum.
So, after the shots of this one actor wandering around attacking people in different locations, which is supposed to convince us that there are thousands of them attacking the planet, we meet our hero for this movie, Sheriff Carpenter, escorting a group of survivors through a warehouse. But he quickly decides he could be starring in something a bit more wholesome and promptly abandons them to be murdered. But even still, he's more likable than these two, who are still talking about infidelity even while their town is being attacked by bloodthirsty robots. Ha 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 ha! That'll teach you for having a ponytail post-90s. Carpenter then reappears with the remaining survivors, and they meet up with Carpenter's friend Chloe in a van, and they make their escape from town.
We have a confirmed list of cities destroyed. Washington, D.C., New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco.
It's awful. There's fires and explosions everywhere. We won't show you any of this, but trust us, it is quite literally hell on Earth. One of the TR spaceships start chasing and firing at them, and after a quick, terribly cut car chase, the van crashes in a puddle, and the spaceship sort of just disappears. What's that? They crashed into 2 feet of water? Yeah, no way they could have survived that. Let's go to the pub, boys! It's replaced by some spontaneous explosions in the background, and the reappearance of our literal one-man army, who chases the survivors around the forest for a bit, and is about to shoot them down, when suddenly...
Sheriff, did you see that?
I know, it looked awful, didn't it? So this mysterious laser gun wielding stranger, who doesn't give his name, leads the survivors to probably one of the actors' houses, where he reveals to Carpenter that they have met before, much to Carpenter's confusion, and that the man was a former employee of the company that created the TRs, and that he knows a way to stop them. He leads them to a bunch of abandoned TR spaceships, where he plans to take one up and destroy Deep Space Nine, which will shut down all the robots. One problem, though.
Well, they couldn't fly him anyway.
Why not?
No fuel.
Now, come on, guys. This really isn't the time or the place to be protesting the $1.60 per litre fuel charge, okay?
They stand around for the next few minutes debating about how to get fuel, before that spaceship from before remembers it exists and attacks again. So they decide to just steal that one instead. Which they just find in a field, completely abandoned for some reason. Which they then almost immediately crash.
I don't think we're in space.
Everybody out. We've got a long walk ahead of us.
To space?
No, apparently to this other warehouse, where they then steal a truck, which they use to run down another TR. Hey, why didn't that shatter into 1,000 pieces like the other car? And they use it to carry some fuel, which just so happened to be loaded already, a few miles down the road before they too run out of gas.
Oh my god, are you serious?
So they head into another warehouse. You know, I'm just assuming these are all the exact same building, just shot from different angles. And they don't find gas here, so they just end up walking back. How can a movie that has the world end in less than 5 minutes feel so dragged out? Yeah, just go into the sewers. That's where you all belong.
Does he even know where he's going?
He seems to.
How do you think I got parts for my transport crafts? I've been snaking through these tunnels for months.
Months? The hell are you talking about? The invasion only started like yesterday.
Which is still no less confusing, because how can an army of machines that, so we hear, we're just going to have to take their word for it, wipe out every major city in the United States in a single day, despite how normal and serene everything looks, have so much trouble against this one little group?
Crap. Am I picking plot holes in an Asylum movie? That's like going to the beach and being surprised by the presence of sand.
Oh, what? Now they just stumble across that other woman girl from the beginning of the film? The one who was with the ponytail guy? Ugh. Well, it didn't seem relevant at the time, but I might as well just say it now. The woman Ponytail was cheating on with the blood-soaked Barbie here was actually Chloe.
Though I suppose if a cat fight actually broke out, we might actually get some decent entertainment.
After arriving back to the ships, T8 promo video arrives and attacks the group. But they manage to refuel the ship and... What? Carpenter's a robot? Where the hell did this come from?
I have memories.
They're implanted.
You know what? Shut up! You haven't tried explaining a damn thing in this movie so far, so just don't try to start now, okay? Because all it's going to be is stupid and raise a whole bunch more plot holes. Just throw another $10 into your effects budget and give us another shitty visual show.
Hang on! On your left!
I got one!
Great kid! Don't get cocky!
They land on Deep Space Nine and start looking around for that magical off switch that'll save the world. But it seems they don't need to right now, because for some reason, the TRs just stop moving. Would you like to know the reason? Well, it's to power up these giant Cylon motherfuckers. Sacked your ass. With the group dropping like flies, Barbie Girl stumbles across the magical switch and pulls it, and that's it. That completely stops the invasion, and that ends the movie.
And that was the Terminators.
With this being an Asylum movie, there are certain things one has to expect. Terrible acting, awful CG, minimal effort in set design and diversity, plot holes galore, all these and more are most definitely present here. For an added bonus, we are still never given an explanation as to why the TRs rebelled in the first place. We also have the hilarity of one guy playing every single robot in this movie and failing at it terribly. And at many instances in this movie, it attempts to be deep with scenes like Barbie talking to a corpse while contemplating suicide. All in all, like any Asylum riff-off, this is god-awful and exists solely to sap money from a recent Hollywood blockbuster. Avoid this like the plague, my friends.
And that's all we have time for tonight, so I'm Fedora, this is Oh the Horror, save your screams, and we'll see you next time.
Like sand through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. This is MacDonald carrying